Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our daily gratitude call. I want to thank everybody for being on the call today. We had a definite theme, actually a couple of definite themes that were running through the gratitude that we were sharing before we started the recording. And some of the things that were shared, just deep breathing, fluid motion, intuition, coming apart so it could come together, tools of grounding, inspiration, respiration, respiratory things, alignment. I just felt like there was this kind of like ebb and flow of breath. And I'm going to actually use those words, ebb and flow. That's what we're going to focus on today. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. Thank you all for being on the call today. I usually do that at the beginning, and I forgot to do that. Thank you for being here. And also those who are joining us on the podcast, appreciate you being here. And I encourage you, regardless of what is going on in your life right now, to take a moment, give yourself that gift of just breathing, listening, as we do this 90-second meditation. So 90 seconds, gratitude for ebb and flow. Just write down whatever comes to you. Begin. All right. This is kind of interesting. What came to me, there were two words that were really standing out to me. The list of words that I wrote as we were sharing our doing our rounds of gratitude before we started the recording, that I had circled inspiration and respiratory. And I noticed that the root word in that, the SPIR, was the same. And so during this 90-second meditation, I allowed myself to kind of look at those two words and see how they were related. And basically what happened was other words with that root came to me: inspire, expire, spiral, and spirit. And so the statement that I wrote was, the breath of life connects us to our spirits and to God, because like the spiral is the spiral upward. Inspiration is sort of sprinkled downwards from God. So the breath of life connects us to our spirits and to God. Anyway, just interesting, that ebb and flow of breathing, possibly, just a deeper understanding of that kind of opened up a new understanding. Who else has something that they would like to share?
I'd like to share.
Okay, thanks, Tanya.
So I first thought of the ocean tide and just how it has a very natural rhythm and pattern, and how I can sync my life with God to create that same type of just very, very natural flowing pattern within my life.
Awesome. I love that analogy, because the ocean tides, is like this very natural rhythm. But if you've ever stood on the ocean and for a length of time, you know that tides come in and they raise, and sometimes you have to like run back, if you don't want to get wet. And then other times it's pulled out. And then there are times when it's like super huge waves. And then there's other times when it's just this gentle flow. So what a beautiful analogy. Natural rhythm and pattern is not the same all the time. There's definitely some tumultuous times, and there's also some really calm times, and that's all part of God's natural flow. Thank you. Who else has something that they would like to share?
I'd like to share.
Okay, thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I'm like really in touch with what you said. What I wrote was, that it's the rhythm of our lives. Really, the rhythm of our own existence. It's a matter of ebb and flow, and the breath. The flow of our breath, in and out, in and out. It's just, it's just amazing. It's how we are connected, and how it made me also think of God. But for him, I don't think it's so much a rhythm as it is, he lives forever. He is spirit, and so on. Anyway, thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. And that word connected kind of stood out to me. I know when we first started this gratitude call, probably about 4 years ago, nobody muted themselves when we breathed. We all breathed together. And there was something about that breathing. This is, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, we do some breathing exercises before we start the recording, just to kind of help us get in rhythm, to help us get, into a space of calm and kind of raise that vibration level. And I remember when we first started the call, we would do that together. There's only like 3 or 4 of us on the call, and just that breathing as one. There was like a connection that happened within, just with us there on the call. If you're anyway, try it sometime with maybe a loved one. Just hold hands, breathe together, and feel that the resonance and the connection that you feel when you're breathing as one. Thanks, Daniel. Who else? Leland or Devin? Whoever.
Yeah.
Leland.
Just does make me think a lot of like the ebb and flow feeling of just the change in the seasons, and how with warmer weather it's nice and positive, it feels great, and then with winter it gets cold, water freezes, and the soil freezes on the surface, and it cracks the ground and breaks the ground apart and causes a bit of chaos. Because right before the recording, one of the ladies was mentioning a bit of gratitude for chaos and a bit of disorder it causes. And so this little bit of disorder and change and breakage of the surface creates a bit of allows for new nutrients to enter the surface, and new growth to come in as well. So
beautiful. Yeah, I had never considered that when when the winter comes and the soil kind of breaks apart, that it does, it would allow water to, when the snow melts, it would allow the water to soak down in better, and then also would create space for the new seeds, those tender shoots that are coming up from underneath the surface, to have a place, a path to come up. I'd never considered that. Thank you. Who else?
All right, I'll say something.
Okay.
Michael here.
Thanks, Michael.
I thought of the ebb and flow of like a river.
Mm-hmm.
The river flows and, you know, keeps going down in one direction, following, you know, gravity,
Mm-hmm.
going downhill. But sometimes it finds a weak spot in the banks of the river, and it breaks through, and then it starts a new path, a new tributary. And so it goes off in a little different direction. Part of it does. And then I thought about, you know, what people do. They're going along with the flow, the crowd. They're doing what they do, and they're not standing up for what they believe in. And when they do take that stand, they have to break away from the flow to get away and become something different, you know, become anew, take charge of their life, I guess is what I was thinking. And so that's the ebb and flow. Sometimes it's the easy road, and to break away from the flow in the things that others are doing, that's when it takes strength and courage to become anew.
Thank you. I want to add something to that I was able to see because of this new, picture that you've opened up to me. That I live in Utah, and I know up in the Uinta Mountains there are a ton of lakes. If you've ever flown over the mountains in the daytime, you can look down and see almost like hundreds of lakes up there. And that was the thought that I had when you were talking about like this river coming down and breaking off and, becoming a new tributary, that if you can, if you just kind of like still are going with the flow and, there's a little, it's a little hard to get through that space now, so I'm just going to stop right here. And then there's just like this dead water. But if the water continues flowing and it continues growing and it increases in power, then it floods the area and then eventually is able to overflow if there's like a little basin there, it's able to, if it continues to grow and increase, then it's able to overflow and continue that river going down a different way, eventually ending up wherever it ends up in the ocean somewhere. But, if we take a little tributary, but we don't exercise our power to actually create a lake of our own, something that can actually be called a lake, and this is a new lake, we need to actually name it. And, becomes a destination, a vacation destination, that we have the choice, if we're breaking off into a tributary, to either just let ourselves just soak into the ground and not become anything, but just like a little mud puddle. Or we can continue to grow, increase the power, overflow into, and continue the path down, to the ocean. So anyway, that was just the choice is in there. Once we decide to take that side tributary, we have a choice of growing big or staying small, and that determines whether we're going to continue on living, because a stagnant water just becomes dead, or if we're going to continue growing to the point that we overflow and continue the path on. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
Well, I just, when we started this process, my brother texted me saying that my mom was in the ER. And I don't know what the outcome will be, but I'm just really grateful for the flow of life and for family, and the flow of life within a family.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, I'll just, everybody just take a moment and send some positive energy to Mary and her family, as they're going into a new situation. You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and take a moment and just get grounded yourself. Take a deep breath. Just get into that flow of natural breathing, feeling a connection with everybody here on this call and those who are listening to the podcast. Just getting in this flow of gratitude, breathing in calm, peace, gratitude, love. And as you're exhaling, breathing those same feelings out to be felt by those here on this call and also beyond, even out to the world, to people who have never even heard of the Daily Gratitude Call. That for one moment, they can feel that gratitude that you're sending out to them and love. And in this moment, as you are just allowing yourself to be in this beautiful ebb and flow, what is the limiting belief coming up for you about remaining in this ebb and flow as you get off the call today and get into regular everyday life? What is the limiting belief that would disallow you to stay in ebb and flow? And as you're getting clear with that limiting belief, I also invite you to write down the cost and be aware of the cost of that limiting belief. If you keep that limiting belief, what is the outcome that it's going to produce? With the ebb and flow of the physical laws, that the law of attraction, the law of gestation, all of those laws that play into our lives as we put out thoughts, words, energy, emotion, it attracts to us those things that resonate. So as you look at this limiting belief, what are you attracting into your life? And if you don't like what that ebb and flow of that limiting belief is creating, then you get to make a choice. You can keep that limiting belief. If now that you know what it's creating, you totally have that choice. Or you can give yourself permission to choose a new belief that's going to create a new ebb and flow. And if you're ready to choose a new belief, say yes.
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 Awesome. So what are those new beliefs? At least 2 or 3 new beliefs that are going to replace that old limiting belief, that will create an ebb and flow that you like. It will create a bringing in something into your life that is positive, that's going to be helpful and will increase your magnitude, will help you grow, increase your ability to feel life, to connect, to be connected to all of life. What are those new beliefs that are going to serve you today? And when you have those new beliefs, I invite you to go back to that deep breathing those new beliefs in, and just being consciously aware of the changes that these new beliefs are making within your body, that the natural ebb and flow of your body is bringing these in with your breath, and that the oxygen, just like the oxygen is added to your bloodstream, just allow these new beliefs to be added to your bloodstream and carried out to every one of your cells of your body, to your brain, to the synapses in your brain that create new neural pathways, that create new habits, that create new action steps and choices, that create new outcomes. And bringing it into your hands and your arms and your legs and feet, so that as you go about doing today, that these new beliefs are supporting you and that they are the motivation for you to go forward and act. That they are these new beliefs are becoming part of your heart, that your the compassion and the passion that you feel for everything that you do is colored by these new beliefs. So that as your body functions, all of your organs, your bloodstream, your nerves, everything, that these new beliefs are the thing that is giving you life, that is moving you forward. And one more question. What is the one most important thing that you can do today that will give you evidence, solid, tangible evidence, that these new beliefs have become part of you? That you are now acting in accordance with these new beliefs? Just listen for your inspiration, intuition to tell you what is the one most important thing for you to do today that will give you evidence that these new beliefs have been incorporated into your very being. What's your inspired shortcut to these being real, tangible? It's who you are. In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. Would love to also invite anyone who's listening to this call, or if you're here on here live, to reach out to me and connect with me on askweiling.com. Just go there. It will take you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call with me. If you've never had a call, even if you don't think you have anything to talk about, I'm just going to give you this challenge to go to askweiling.com and schedule a 15-minute call with me, especially if you've never had a call with me, because I know if you haven't, then you probably feel like, I'm good, or, I don't want to bother her, or whatever. Those are all limiting beliefs. This is a resource that's available to you. And if you've never experienced having a 15-minute call with me, you need to know what it's like, so that you know if it is something that you can access when you need it, and you'll know, because you have experienced it, you will know when it's time to do it again. So I really challenge you to have that be part of your inspired shortcuts today. If you've never had a call with me, to go to askweiling.com and schedule a 15-minute call on my calendar. It's free. All right. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for anybody that would like to share something about their experience today.
I'll share.
Thanks, Melissa.
So my limiting belief is that I want to control the ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that I can't control the ebb and flow, but I can gain knowledge about the natural laws of creation and harness them for my benefit. And my new beliefs are all about what I can control, and that I choose to have faith in what I want to create, and that I have patience to allow my creation to happen the way the Lord wills it and when the Lord wills it.
Beautiful. Those are super powerful. If you do feel confident sharing some of those new beliefs here, I know they might be private, because they're things that you can control, and that's okay. But if you do feel comfortable sharing those, I know that there are those here that could benefit.
You mean exactly what I want to create?
Like what your new beliefs are?
Oh, well, it says I'm in control of so much. I choose what I have faith to create. I have patience to allow them to happen the way the Lord wills it to happen. So I didn't really write anything specific about what I'm creating.
I see.
But
okay.
Yeah, I think I'll do that going forward.
Awesome. Thank you. And basically all you did was, just put the I am and I have in front of it. So I can see, how you were saying that now. Thank you. Any other thoughts that somebody would like to share?
I'll share.
Okay.
First of all, just to reiterate, anybody that hasn't had that 15-minute call with you, I've done that a couple of times, and I just want to say how blessed I am every extra moment that I get with Wileen. So
Thank you.
It's so worth it. And the limiting beliefs that were coming up for me was similar to, and I appreciated Melissa sharing that conflict of trying to control the ebb and flow. And what was coming up for me was that realizing that ebb and flow is normal and natural, and how often I've tried to be like, I wish I could just stay in this high vibration all the time, but there is ebb and flow and opposition and all things. And so I was just realizing too that trust in God, that He is in control, and the things that we experience are for our learning and for our gain. And I'm really grateful for this call. And I also wanted to share just kind of an update where we're at with David.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really grateful that I went to Ogden last night. I actually met a holistic chiropractor that texted me this morning and said, I think I have some ideas on how to help him. So I'm open to that conversation, and how it just kind of fits in with this message of ebb and flow, that we'll just see where that goes. And I love the part about looking for evidence. So that's just pretty awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you. I think when we go forward with our inspired shortcuts, you being inspired to go to Ogden to meet with this chiropractor, because I know that's quite a drive for you. That's one of those things that really keeps us in that natural ebb and flow. And I love the idea of the ebb and flow is natural, because when we try to control it, that's unnatural. It's if we can't be in the ebb and flow, then we're trying to be outside of the natural way that God set things up. And when you think about it, He set things up to be completely abundant, to never deplete, to always increase. And why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we want to be in His ebb and flow?
So the visual that I was getting was kind of like, the charts that go up and down. And I just envisioned my ebb and flow as being, one step forward, two steps back all the time. But what I realized is that chart is more like the chart that goes up, and then a little bit of course correction, and then up again, and a little bit of a step back. And that ebb and flow is always in progression, rather than just back and forth.
Yeah, you have to stand back and look at it over a longer period of time, rather than just like what happened today. Thank you.
Right.
Wow,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you all for everything that has been shared. We're going to go ahead and close the call. I would love to continue. I know there's probably lots that people could share. And I do encourage you to go to the Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, share your thoughts there. I'm starting a new group, The Lord's Way to Wealth. It's a public group. I'm going to be posting there, probably not daily. I did post a video yesterday that if you haven't joined that group, I also posted it to some other places too, so you may have seen it. But I encourage all of you who are listening to this gratitude call to go join that free public group, Lord's Way to Wealth. We've been doing a mastermind for the past couple of months, 3 months. And some of you who are on the call are in that mastermind, and it has been like mind-blowingly amazing. And this idea of ebb and flow being in that natural flow of abundance is definitely resonates with what we've been learning. And I'll be sharing little tidbits of that in this public group. So I hope that all of you will join us there, and also share your celebrations and your successes on the Facebook, on the Breakthrough with Gratitude group as well. Love you guys. I just love the time that we get to spend together in the morning, and then also continuing that connection through Facebook and through these 15-minute calls that I do, in whatever way we get to connect. It's just awesome. So So thank you all for being on. And
Love you.
Yeah, love you too. Today is Friday, so we won't be on Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you continue your practice throughout the weekend, and then we'll see you back here on Monday morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you. Love you guys.
Thanks, Marlene. Love you too.
Thank you. Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.